It was 100 degrees for like 2 weeks straight. Fuck yeah. We were in the hundreds for.
What's up, everybody? We're live. Breaking news. Nancy Pelosi assassination attempt. You heard it here first on the Basics podcast. She's in Taiwan right now, and China just tried to assassinate Nancy Pelosi. And this is just what I'm hearing. I'm hearing this, and that's where it happened at in Taiwan. I'm hearing it. And I'm reading it, and I'm just relaying it to you guys that this is breaking news from the Mountain Mike's guy.
Wow, from the Mountain Mike's, from the mouth of Mountain Mike himself.
So just keep it heads up for WW3.
Okay.
You never know. You never know. So just
you never know, man.
Prepare.
You truly never know. You know, with these international coalitions of nations, you never know, man, when the whole thing could come tumbling down. You know, but yeah, is she actually going to Taiwan, or is she not?
Yeah, she's in Taiwan right now.
Oh, right now?
Right now.
Oh shit.
They tried to do an assassination attempt from what I'm reading here. And from this anonymous source, I'm reading right here, they have tried a heart attack gun, they've tried poisoning, they've tried the Havana syndrome, they've tried the coronavirus, all of this within like an 8-hour time period since she's been on the ground in Taiwan. It's unbelievable. Like,
and I've never survived all of them.
Well, it's because she's a reptilian.
That's what I mean. That proves the fact. If she can somehow avoid death from all of those potential circumstances, she's got to be a lizard. It makes sense, bro.
And I read that online that she's a lizard. So,
is that from the same source that you're reading about?
It's an anonymous source. I don't want to give away my sources because then I might lose my source. So it's an anonymous source, and that's all.
Right.
You have to just trust me.
You just got to take my word for it on my anonymous source
from the Mountain Mike's Pizza guy.
You don't. Yeah, exactly. You know who I am. I'm the Mountain Mike's Pizza guy. You don't know my source. You got to take my word for it. Would Mountain Mike ever lie? I don't fucking think so, bro.
No, he's a mountain man.
He is a mountain man, and Mikes are notoriously good people. If your name is Mike, you're probably a good person. I don't know any bad Mikes. Do you know any bad Mikes?
Mike.
I know Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy.
No, but he comes from. He's pretty. I didn't know he was chill like that, dude.
I didn't know homie was fucking chill like that. Fortnite dance, Fortnite moves.
I mean, he seems like a cool guy to hang out with. That's for sure. I would hang out with Mike Lindell.
Dude, Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy. We would. I'm sure that we would have quite a few things to say to one another. First off, my biggest question for him is, how the fuck did you do it? How did you come up with the best fucking pillow design known to man? You know.
Do you have a My Pillow?
No, but my mom does.
And you've tried it?
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's a nice ass pillow. I'll be real with you. It's a little bit like memory foam, but not really.
Yeah,
I'm
about the bamboo pillows. I like those ones.
Oh yeah. Are they soft or are they hard?
They're on the firm side. I like a firm pillow. I don't like a pillow that's too soft because then it doesn't give me enough support.
I need a firm pillow, bro. I love My Pillow. It's a mine's a pure memory foam pillow, and it's so nice. It's like a brick. Just lay my head on a fucking brick every night, dude. It's so nice.
Yeah, that's high tea.
That's some high tea shit, bro. I sleep on fucking cement and fucking wood planks. That's it.
Just like Liver King.
I'm trying to emulate about here. I'm trying to become liver king. I started from growing the beard, and then I'm gonna work on losing the gut.
I mean, the gut's pretty primal, dude. That'll keep you alive for a long time until you get your next hunt.
Dude, that's fucking true, man. I think that's why my body reacts like that when I eat food. Like, you know, the way that I eat. My grandpa is built the same exact way as me, and it's like I don't really eat that much food. I just eat it at bad times. Like I eat it before bed. You know what I mean? It's like obviously drink a lot of beer too, so that doesn't help. But I think that regardless of my lifestyle, I'm gonna have a little gut on me, just because that's how my grandpa has always been, and that's how a lot of like the French Basque people are, bro. They just got a little gut, you know.
Do
Mine's a
they?
big one.
I thought the French were skinny.
The French are, bro. I'm talking about the Basque. We're French and Spanish, bro. We're a little bit of both.
Okay.
We're a little bit of both. We're actually, or neither one, you know, depending on how you look at it.
I went to a Basque restaurant in what's that city? It's like off I-5.
North or south?
Los Banos.
Oh yeah. Those Banos.
Yeah, I went to a Basque restaurant there, and it's like the eating
like a
style.
gastropub.
It wasn't a pub per se, but like the way they have the seating there is like all family style. So they had like really long tables, and you're sharing the table. You're sharing the table with other people that you don't know.
Another party, yeah.
Yeah. And dude, they had some like I think I had some lamb shanks or something when I was there.
Oh,
it was a
boy.
long time ago, and it was so good. It was some of the best meat that I've ever had. Like,
dude,
it was delicious.
The Basque know how to fucking handle their meat, bro. I'll tell you what, we know how to handle a nice cut of meat, and it's called gastro, or what is it called? It's like gastronomy, like astronomy, but for the gastrointestinal system. So they're all about, you know, making sure the food and the beverage, and I think sometimes even smoking comes into it to like enhance different flavors and to like draw out different aromas and things in the food. It's an old way. It's kind of like, I mean, that's kind of like how French cooking is, you know. It's the same shit.
What is French cooking like? I'm not familiar with much French cooking.
So French cooking is all based around essentially, well, the way that I've heard it described. So obviously flavor is number one, right? But in the preparation of the food, it's this thing called mise en place, which means everything in its place, which means everything from the ingredients to the shit you're cooking it with, to like all that shit, you have it all set up, measured out, you have it all perfectly, like it's like a science. Mise en place. And it's like, so I'm not sure if that part of the French cooking came from the Basque culture necessarily. I don't think it did, but the Basque is very similar, where it's like they have their, like, every ingredient has its place, but it's going to be less regulated in terms of like the measurements and everything. So like French is much more precise on the measurements. Basque is much more freewheeling with that sort of thing, but they're both super focused on like only using exactly what you need to accomplish like what your goal is, like in terms of the flavor and the taste and all that stuff. So yeah, mise en place. But I'm not a fucking cook, so I don't actually really know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also snails.
Oh, dude, I love them. When I was in high school, in my biology class, for extra credit, we brought snails in, and I would walk to school every day, and I would pick up snails in people's yards, because like it was early in the morning, you know, and the dew was still out, and I would pick up snails and I'd bring them in a Tupperware container, and I had a bunch of them, and we had a fish tank, and we would feed them cornmeal for a couple of weeks to clean out their system, so there's no like pesticides and whatnot in them from eating. And we ended up sauteing them with some garlic.
Oh my God, no way.
And we ate it for extra credit. If you ate a snail, you got extra credit.
Dude, that's fucking epic. Was that at Granite Bay?
Yeah, I forget the teacher's name. He was pretty cool. He also taught the fish and wildlife class.
Dude, that's legendary, bro. For a second, I thought you were gonna say like this was in middle school, like you were picking up snails all the way to school, and they made you eat one. But that makes way more sense that it was in high school. That's dope.
Yeah, no, they were good, dude. I fuck with snails. I like oysters and clams and mussels, and they're pretty much like snails of the ocean.
They are. They totally
So,
are, bro.
you know,
Shellfish, except
they clean the they filter the water.
they filter that shit, bro. 100%.
So,
That's why you're supposed to. That's why you're supposed to get fresh water, or fresh salt water, and put them in there and let them filter out all the sand and shit that's in them.
mm.
You know, like you said with the pesticides, like with the cornmeal, letting that, like you gotta flush the system because they're natural toxin collectors, basically. That's a
So
fucking.
oh my gosh, breaking news. Breaking news. Sorry to interrupt. There's this breaking
Yeah.
news right now. There's another assassination attempt on Nancy Pelosi just now. China has initiated a solar storm, and it could hit the Earth's magnetosphere tomorrow.
Wow, incredible news. They've used the gravitational wave detectors that were previously just for detecting, and they inverted the frequency. They were using AC power, and they started using DC power, and then that created a shock wave that triggered the sun's process.
Is this the first sign of a civilization on Earth being level 1?
I believe it is. Breaking news again. New breaking news. We are now a level 1 species and civilization.
Dude.
Let's fucking go. That's incredible, man. Solar storms. You'd think that'd be a last resort because that's pretty not. It's not very accurate. They're just gonna fucking roast a whole country. But I guess if it's in Taiwan, they wanted that anyway. So
Yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah, they're ruthless. But this solar storm tomorrow.
Are we frozen?
No, I'm still here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, this solar storm, it's a G1 geomagnetic storm. It's classified as weak, but there could be potential minor fluctuations in power grids and impact some satellite functions, including those for mobile devices and GPS systems.
Okay.
And you will also be able to, there's a possibility to see the aurora as far south as Michigan and Maine. So,
damn.
are those north higher latitude than where you're at?
They are the same. So from Washington to I think the edge of whatever that first Great Lake is the whatever the 50th parallel, I think, right? Or not sorry, not parallel. Oh no, it is parallel.
Yeah,
it's parallel. My bad. I think it's the 50th parallel, and then once you hit that, like Maine is way more up north.
Okay.
But I mean, shit, man. If they can, there might be a chance. We've had hella clear skies out here too, so I'll keep a lookout tonight.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Did you see any when you went up to Canada? Did you see any northern lights? Were you far enough north? Could you hear me?
Shit.
Did you see could you see the northern lights when you went to Canada? Were you far enough north?
Think the solar storm fucking with me?
Could you see the northern lights? Uh-oh, there he goes. He's froze now. I think this is it. This is the geomagnetic solar storm impacting our communications right now. This is crazy. Unbelievable. And it's just me. Well, he'll be back in a second. But let's take a look at some news around the world right now. some space news. We're looking at, oh, he's back. Justin's back. We're looking at space news right now.
Let's go. Oh, are we looking at space news? Do you want me to do my
Space
new
news.
segment?
Yeah, you got a news segment?
Hello?
We can hear you. Uh-oh, he's froze again. Okay, let's keep going with space news. Anything else cool? Oh, what's the new rocket? The
Oh, there you
Artemis
are.
mission?
Hello?
Hello? I can hear you, but I think you're frozen. So coming up here, the Artemis space mission is going to be launching out of Cape Canaveral, Florida, pretty soon. This is NASA's. It's their new heavy payload launch rocket that will go past low Earth orbit. This will go to the moon and beyond. The spacecraft is scheduled to launch around the moon on August 29th. And there's a mission briefing tomorrow, August 3rd, along with more details on August 5th. And this will be an uncrewed flight test for the Artemis mission.
Hell yeah.
Have you heard about this rocket, Justin?
Of course, bro. This has been in the works for a very long time. The Artemis mission? Or which rocket? What are you talking about? I kind of just tuned in halfway through.
Yeah, the Artemis mission. I forget what the rocket's name is.
Yeah, dude. Artemis is going to be a fantastic. It's going to be it's one of the ones that's up there with like Hubble, like in terms of like the amount of change that it's going to bring to the program, essentially, to NASA. It's incredible.
The heavy lift launch vehicles, it's like one of the biggest ones ever created. Doesn't it have more payload
And the
ability
Atlas.
than the Saturn V?
Yep, and the Atlas and everything. Yep.
I was on the wiki the other day and super heavy. Is it under this one? Here it is. Here's the picture I was trying to. Did you see that picture?
Hell fucking yeah.
So it's the SLS Block 2 or the Block 1, I think is what this first test is. The SLS Super, what's that stand? The Space Launch System is the one that's being built for the Artemis program.
Yes,
and
sir.
yeah, pretty much like it's going to have a bigger payload ability than the Saturn V. And the only other rocket that's bigger than that is Elon Musk's Starship, which is pretty epic.
Yeah, it's got an extra 20 tons on the SLS. Elon's does. Can lift 20 more tons. That's pretty impressive, and it's almost the same size. But yeah, dude, that's fucking amazing. And that test, when is the test launch happening?
Later this month.
Fuck yes.
I believe. Let me double check. Test launch. And window between August 23rd and September 6th. So
Fuck yeah.
What was your space news for this week? Can you hear me?
Oh, also, yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Did you have your space news? There he goes. He's frozen again. Okay. And he's back. He's back. Did you have
And
your
I'm
space
back.
news?
Yeah, I've got my space news. So this was discovered by the 60-inch telescope out of oh fuck, never mind. I forgot to write down where it's from. But anyway, 60-inch telescope. That's not like a huge space telescope. That's a ground-based telescope. I think it's a university. I think it was Arizona State. Could be wrong on that one. They have discovered a new, potentially lethal, planetary scale destructive asteroid. Okay.
That's might hit Earth.
Am I back?
You're back. Yeah. Is this something that might be on a flight path to hit Earth?
Yes. And it's worse than that. It's not a flight path. It's in the inner solar system. It's between us and the sun. It crosses our path already. It's in the same orbit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's in the same orbit of the Earth. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where I cut off.
You said it's in the same flight path or same orbit of Earth. Can you hear me at all?
Damn. This connection is absolute ass, bro. I wonder if it has to do with the heat. I wonder, or maybe if it's because it's peak time, like 5 o'clock right now. Everyone's getting off work.
Maybe. Where did you hear about
Can you
this?
hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Where did you hear about this asteroid?
Yeah.
So I can pull up like a news article or something, screen share.
I think you could. It was on a podcast. I don't know where the article would be. Hold on. Hey, can I just call your cell phone and you can hold me up to the speaker?
Yeah. Well, I can hear you right now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay. So this asteroid is called. You can probably just Google 2020 VZ5.
Okay.
It is a football stadium size asteroid. Its orbital period is 360 days. So it has a 5-day shorter orbital period than us. And at the moment, it does cross our orbital plane twice per year. Once in front of us and then once behind us. So it's on just a slightly different orbital velocity or orbital path, sorry. But has a very similar velocity. And it is at the moment, like I said, there's those 2 crosses during the year. We have two per year. However, since it's in the inner solar system, it can very easily be affected by our gravity, the moon's gravity, the gravity from Venus and Mercury, at certain points in its orbit. So there's a very high chance that this thing at some point could just, careen into one of the inner solar system bodies. Its closest approach to Earth at the moment on its current path is 13 moon distances. So the distance from here to the moon, 13 of those. That's extremely close. And that's the closest that it currently approaches at the moment. So that could get much closer. That could get farther away. We just don't know. However, the fact that it's in the inner solar system just means, and I wish I would have fucking wrote down the telescope. But this is a new approach for, at least they're using computer analysis, a different algorithm to assess the same data that they're using from the telescope. So the telescope, when it's taking the picture, it's not like it fucking prints out a black and white picture and you look at it. It is all fucking ones and zeros, goes into the computer, and then it is digitally displayed on the screen if you want to see like a picture of that. But then there's also just the non-picture, just the data in there, which is much more accurate than pixels, because the data resolution on these telescopes goes way lower than, or way higher than just a monitor resolution on your standard desktop. So they're using different algorithms to run through and process this data, and they're able to find these moving objects much easier with this new algorithm. So that's why they were able to locate this one. And this is just one of the first ones, because we're kind of always looking out into the solar system for asteroids, because the asteroid belt is out there. That's where the Kuiper belt is. So we kind of think like, oh, that's where all the asteroids are going to be. But fuck no, there's a shitload of asteroids in the inner solar system. And this is just one of the first of many, I think, that we're going to start finding. I think with this new technique and this new algorithm and this new program that they're using, especially once they start to get it out amongst other telescopes, their facilities start using the same process. I think we could start finding a shitload of asteroids in the inner solar system, like between us and the sun even, So,
oh yeah,
I think that's a very high likelihood that is the trend. Just another couple more facts. It would hit the ground if this thing were to come into contact with us. It would enter the atmosphere, break up through the atmosphere, end up being, from whatever that football stadium size that it starts out at. Once it got to the ground, it would be traveling 5 miles per second. 5 miles per second. That's the speed at which it will impact something the size of a football field. 5 miles per fucking second. That's insanely fast. Do you like the amount of energy contained is insane.
Mm-hmm.
You got something the size of a little football field hitting the ground at 5 miles per second, creating a crater that is 2.5 miles in diameter. Okay? Something that big, the size of a football field moving 5 miles a second, it would make a crater. And this is if it hits like solid rock. This is not if it hits like in a marshy swamp, or if it hits like a dirt field. If it's a dirt field, it could be 5, 10, 20 miles, who knows? But if it hits rock, if it hits ground, I think what they used was like limestone as what they used to calculate how big the fucking crater would be. So if this thing were to hit limestone, a solid block of limestone, the crater would be 5.5 miles in diameter, and it would be 1,400 feet deep. 1,400 feet deep.
Dude, imagine if that hit the ocean, the tidal wave that would
tidal
come from that thing, dude.
Would be absurd. Absurd, bro. If that hit like off the coast of someplace, oh my god, dude. So, and that, like I said, that's just the first one, and that's a small one. We might, with this process, be able to find, I'm sure we'll find larger. We'll definitely find more small ones. I'm sure of that. But I also think, we might find the big one that's just waiting there, Because, yeah.
Do you remember the one that? Do you remember the one that blew up in the atmosphere above Russia a few years back?
Fuck yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, that thing was
Chabinsky, or it's like Chabinskalub, something like that. Chicxulub.
Then wasn't that one only like the size of a bus?
Yeah.
And it's still
an
like
automobile.
When it blew up in the atmosphere, it for a long, people heard it for a long ways, and it blew out windows for all over the city. So is this another assassination attempt by China to get Nancy Pelosi?
Yes. This I thought that was the news segment I was covering. This isn't astronomy news. This is assassination news.
Oh, breaking news. You heard it first from the Mountain Mike's guy and the Montana scientist.
Dude, yeah. So that's that was my news item. Oh, you still there?
I'm still here. I'm here. I did not come with any news at all other than assassination attempts.
Do I have anything? What?
I said I did not come with any news except for assassination attempts.
Oh, hold on, bro. That's fire. Hold on. Let me rejoin this. Oh, wait. No, there you are. Okay. I think it's good. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my shit, man. It's got to be that solar flare.
No, yeah, it looks good. It's been looking good for the last few minutes.
So with the thought and the idea of, inner solar system, asteroids and all that sort of thing, because, I like to come with like a news item and then a theory item and a theory topic. And for some reason, I just started thinking about, when I was thinking like 5 miles per second, like that is so fast, but that is still nowhere near like relativistic speeds. Like relativistic speeds, you have to start going like 20%, 30%, 50% the speed of light before you start getting these like theoretical, well, they're not theoretical, they're proven to exist, but for our little brains, they seem just theoretical. But all these effects from relativity. So like time dilation, that whole sort of can of worms. That I'm not sure, and I should have looked that up. I don't think that any asteroids, unless they're getting like slingshotted around, are going to be approaching any relativistic speeds. Because that was the first thing my brain went to. I'm like, if there's something this close to the Earth moving that fast, could we catch up with it like in a reasonable, or could we like harness that directional energy and like ride it, like make it a spaceship, like build a whole base on it, and then like use it to slingshot out into space, and then have like a colony on one of these asteroids that we just like develop because it's in the inner solar system already.
Well, I
started thinking,
I mean, we've landed on
probably not relativistic speeds.
We've landed on
generation ships.
We've landed on a comet before with the Japanese probe Hayabusa, I think it was. Do you remember that? He's frozen. Okay, let me pull it up. The Hayabusa Japanese probe. Hayabusa 2 space probe. Robotic spacecraft developed by the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency to return a sample of material from a small near-Earth asteroid named 25143 Itokawa to Earth for further analysis. Hayabusa 2. Let me pull this up. Let me share my screen real quick. Were you able to hear what I was saying?
No, not a thing.
So I was talking about how like we can send probes to these asteroids. We've the Hayabusa 2 mission was a mission by the Japanese Space Agency.
What?
It was a asteroid sample return mission where they landed a robotic probe on the asteroid.
Yes.
And so we can get up to those speeds. But to use an asteroid as like a launching pad, it's a whole nother endeavor.
Yeah, I was thinking interstellar travel rather than like inter-solar system. Like
if something's flying through like the asteroid that was cigar shaped.
That was moving way too fast, bro.
What was that one? Onomatopoeia or something.
Yeah. No, it was some Hawaiian name. Oumuamua.
Oumuamua, yeah, Oumuamua. Some people
Onomatopoeia asteroid. That is epic.
Oumuamua speed. Let's see what the speed was of Oumuamua. It was clocked at 196,000 miles per hour, or 87.3 kilometers per second.
So that's literally moving. What the fuck? Wait, hold on.
That's like 60
per hour.
Per hour, but it's moving at. Let me do 87 kilometers.
The speed of light is
miles.
The speed of light is 300,000 miles per second.
So it's moving at, instead of this asteroid you were talking about, this inner solar system, on the inner solar system.
That was only 5 miles per second.
Oumuamua was moving at 54 miles per second.
Jesus Christ.
It was 10x.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And then what is miles per second? So look up the speed of light, miles per second. I think it's 300,000. Or is it 180,000?
Let me see. Speed of light, miles per second.
186. Yep. Okay. So 186,000 miles per second versus 56,000 miles, or versus 56 miles per second. So they're not even in the same ballpark at all. So that's kind of what I was thinking, because
it's a fraction of the speed.
Yeah, it's a very, very small fraction. Because my stoner brain immediately went to harness the asteroid, use it for interstellar travel, build a base on it. But that's still not going to work. We still need some sort of propulsion mechanism. We're not just going to be able to gravity launch into anything feasible. Do
you know who Lex Friedman is?
I do not.
So Lex Friedman, he's an former MIT scientist, professor at MIT, and he specialized in AI development. But he got really popular because he's friends with Joe Rogan. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast for a while, but he's got his own podcast that he has on YouTube. And his latest podcast, he had this former Navy pilot. Let me pull up the guy's name. Good podcast. Ryan Graves. And he was a F-18 fighter pilot for the Navy and was a fighter pilot instructor. But they get on the topic of UFOs in his latest podcast, and he was talking about these like UAPs that the government's been talking about, the Tic Tac and the gimbal.
Yep.
And so he was on a mission. He talks about how he was on a mission with 4 jets in the squadron. It was him, another guy. They fly. There's 4 of them, but they fly in pairs. So it was him and his partner, and then 2 other guys, and they were partners. And they encountered one of these UAPs that came like and split in between their jets, and they're flying close together. And this UAP split, and they, like, the pilots in those 2 jets saw it. And the way they described it was a cube in a sphere, a black cube in a sphere, where the apexes of the cube corners were touching the outside of the sphere.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said they saw with their eyeballs. That geometric structure. Well, I forget the scientific term for that.
For what? Sorry?
I said I forget what the scientific term is for, or the terminology for that. The quadrilateralized. Maybe that's a tongue twister. Quadrilateralized spherical cube.
Gotcha. Is that like geodesic dome type?
What's a geodesic dome?
It's like a golf ball looking things, like, you see. It's like people use them for greenhouses and things. It's like a circle, but it's got, a bunch of octagons in it. It's like a circle made out of octagons connected at the corners.
I'm trying to pull up a pic to show you. There, this is. Here, I'm about to share my screen. Can you see that? Hello? Oh, well, he's gone. But here we have what the UFO/UAP is said to have resembled: a black cube inside the sphere, or inside a sphere, where the apexes of each corner of the sphere are equidistant from the edges of the cube, or edges of the sphere, or the same distant, or like they're touching the edges, so the diameter would be the same. And so this is the shape, like a cube inside a sphere.
Oh, okay. Holy
and that's
shit.
and that's what he said they saw was flying up there with them.
Oh, it looks like one of those balancing toys that as a kid,
Like a gyroscope?
you know, that you have where the inside spins and that keeps it stable, but it's not spinning.
Oh, yeah,
You
it
ever
has
have
like
one
a
of those?
gyroscope on the inside.
Fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's different than like a flying saucer or a cigar shape or crescent or a ship of any sort, you know, this. So I find it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's
He
very
said
cool.
like no discernible means of propulsion, able to hit hard right angles, instant acceleration, all that stuff. So,
And if you can constantly be rotating your field of view, you've got great, you know, lines of sight out of that thing, I'm sure.
what you mentioned, how the inside spins, you know, that could really be like a way that this thing creates its propulsion and ability to move and keep itself from feeling G forces. Like, what if this cube right here in the middle was spinning so fast it creates its own angular momentum, like how they do on to create gravity on spaceships in sci-fi.
Well, that, or it's like it could be as simple as the material on the outside is conductive, and then if you spin a metal inside of a field, if you spin a conductive metal inside of a magnetic field, that can create electricity. That's how fucking electric motors work, you know? So it could be something like that. If it spins on the inside of that, because that's what, like if you have a coil of wires and then you have a magnet inside of that spinning, that creates electricity. If you put electricity into that, the magnet will spin. Like that's, you know, so it could be something as simple as that. Because that would be I mean, that would make sense to me. Shit.
Yeah. And it could be spinning so fast that the human eye can't tell that it's spinning, and it looks like it's not spinning.
Right. It just looks like, yeah, see how, like, you know, like there's the illusion of a square. Maybe it's just another structure that looks solid because it's spinning so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I like that. I fucking fuck with that theory heavily.
And because it has like, it's like how a gyroscope will balance itself. Like it creates its own gravitational field. That's why it's able to hit those hard movements easily, where a jet can't. You know,
it's already insulated from any sort of external G forces because it's creating its own.
Yeah,
maybe potentially. I'm not sure how that works out with the physics, but
dude,
you know,
no one knows how physics works. We've got just as good ideas as like the actual physicists.
Exactly.
So it's all unexplained.
I fucking love it. Yeah, dude, that's fucking fantastic. I would be more on the side of if it truly had that design, that it is some sort of, if it's not a centrifuge, I would think it would be to generate some sort of, anti-gravitational force. Because this is what you got to think about. The electromagnetic force truly is no different than the gravitational force that we know of, because we don't actually know what gravity is, right? So the electromagnetic force, if it can be created by spinning a material inside of another material, there's no reason that you can't create anti-gravity by spinning a material inside of another material. Just theoretically, because they're both forces. They're both forces of nature: electromagnetic force, gravitational force. They're both explainable through the equations that we have. So you would think that if they're at least compatible on that level, that if something can generate electricity by existing, by doing some motion inside of another material, then you would be able to create some sort of gravity force from spinning a material. And I'm not talking about just centrifugal force, because centrifugal force, you can do that by spinning, no problem. But I mean like actually generating the force itself.
Yeah, there are some scientists that think that gravity is actually an electromagnetic force. Like electromagnetism and gravity are connected somehow. There he goes. He's frozen again. Let's see. Well, let's share a screen. Let's watch some of these videos. Da ba da ba da. He's back.
Did you hear anything I said about the anti-gravity?
Nah. I was right when you cut off though, I was saying there are some people that think gravity is actually part of electromagnetism. And that, like, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't know what gravity is, but
what?
Did you hear anything I said? Hello?
No, dude, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hold on. I'm going to.
All right, let's watch some more videos.
Вася, что с Поликом?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Speakerphone on the phone. I don't think that's.
Okay. Well, I'm watching a war video right now.
Пошел ты.
I'm watching a war video right now. It's done in like 30 seconds.
Пацаны, закрывайте.
There are some people that think gravity is actually like part of electromagnetism, and that it can be explained as part of that whole field. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one idea.
But of course, like no one's figured it out yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of the main ideas are that it's connected somehow to like the strong force
or the nuclear force, just because it always takes place around matter, like physical matter. So yeah, I don't know. No one knows.
Well, do you have anything else for today's podcast?
Shit, man, not really. I'm fucking pissed off that this shit didn't work. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is eating ass.
Well, I didn't come with much other than it looks like there's been another breaking news assassination attempt against Nancy Pelosi. It looks like they sprayed something in the air, and I'm hearing it from this one guy, but he's an anonymous source. I'm not going to tell anyone who he is. And
okay, good.
It looks like there's a cloud over there in Taiwan. Who knows what this cloud is made of?
Who knows? Is it a fart?
And there's, it could be a bunch of mini drones or something that are disguised that look like mosquitoes. And there's a billion of them. And this is just the Mountain Max guy telling you all, but it's happening right now. It's for sure happening.
Dude, fuck yeah. That's for sure happening. I agree 100% as the Montana scientist, the non-self-proclaimed Montana scientist that was bestowed upon me. I would have to agree 100% with your journalistic findings.
Yeah, and I have all the right answers. Just so if anyone wants a debate, I'm right.
I'm right.
That's the Basics podcast.
Just in case anyone wants to debate, we're not going to debate because I'm right. Fuck yeah, dude. That's epic. Is that how we end the podcast?
I mean, unless you got anything else to say.
Dude, I kind of do, but I want to fucking damn, dude. Well, we need to try the Twitch thing. I wonder if I'll have more success with the Twitch thing. How would that work? Or would that still be a Zoom that we just put on Twitch?
It would be. I think it would be through. We'd connect through Discord, and
I want to try that. Dude.
And it would
try Discord on my computer. I want to hook it up right to my router.
Okay, and it would broadcast to Switch from Discord.
Okay.
I need to mess around with it. I haven't set it up. I've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks, so.
Hey man, no rush, but I think that I would have more success with that because I can be, it just sounds better. It sounds better. So.
Cool.
I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know. I think we can call it. I think we can be good.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to the Basics podcast. I'm the Mountain Mike's guy.
Oh, wait. Was there anyone in the chat or no?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Shout out to Rich and Kyle. They've been in the chat the whole time. What's up, bros?
What's up, bros?
So thanks for tuning in. Oh, and then the dude IO Walks.
Tune back in.
I don't know if he was in it before, if he was the same guy. He said, "Who shot you, but you punks didn't finish. Now are you about to feel the wrath of a menace, Nancy?"
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but he sounds angry.
I like it.
Shout out to that guy too. Thanks for commenting.
Cool, man. Yeah, hopefully we'll have this technical shit figured out next week, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Next week we might be
podcast.
Yeah, next week we might be on Twitch instead of YouTube. We'll see. We're gonna see what we can do.
All right, boys.
Peace out. Thanks for tuning in. It's me, the Mountain Mike's guy, and I've got all the answers. Everything I say is truthful and accurate. And the other guy's Justin, the scientist from
It is me, the Montana scientist. Nothing that I say is truthful. I know nothing. And a peace.